Thank you, President. As a servant to the many different people who make up our one Queensland community, I know that nuclear is an answer to humanity's energy needs. There are others, including hydro, which is being underutilised, and clean coal. Modern coal can be used in a way that produces zero carbon dioxide. A trial site in Tasmania is currently waiting to install equipment that will convert coal to hydrogen, then hydrogen to electricity. Baseload, cheap, reliable electricity. This system is only 10% dearer than doing the obvious thing, burning the coal itself for even cheaper electricity. And remember, no one has provided logical scientific points with empirical scientific data showing that carbon dioxide from human activity affects climate and needs to be cut. No one. And increasingly, leading scientists are plucking up the courage to call out the United Nations and World Economic Forum for their climate scam. The ruling zeitgeist among politicians, autocrats, predatory businesses and the mouthpiece media hates the concept of plentiful and cheap power. That's the core issue. UN net zero is not about cheap power, and it's not about saving the environment from a harmless trace gas essential to all life on Earth. UN net zero is about restricting electricity output to provide an artificial energy deficit that can be used for control, used to keep those behind this scam in power. Scarcity that will rob Australia of a prosperous future that generations of Australians have worked to secure for themselves and for generations yet to come. The Greens, Labor, Teals and the Globalists among the Liberal National Party oppose nuclear, and when they do, their motivation should be obvious. Critics of nuclear power are serving the interests of the predatory billionaires who need an energy shortage to control people to prevent protest against what is currently the largest wealth transfer in history, a transfer from everyday Australians to the world's wealthiest individuals. As for the Greens and the Teals, it makes no sense to pretend to the environmentalists and then stand back as swathes of Australia, national parks, bushland and farmland, are vandalised for wind turbines, solar panels, access roads and transmission lines. Vandalised in a manner that stops soaring birds from migrating and nesting, coming around the world to do so. It's telling the Teals and Greens oppose Senator Cadell's proposed inquiry into this environmental vandalism. That reveals their real agenda, and that agenda has nothing to do with the natural environment. It's about control and wealth transfer. So these days we listen to the Greens, the Teals, the Labor and dominant globalist wing of the Liberal Nationals putting nuclear to the sword. This is not based on any valid objection to nuclear power, which is used around the world, is safe and produces almost no waste. No, these establishment parties are putting nuclear to the sword for the same reason that modern coal is being put to the sword, because there will be no low-cost electricity again in this country under a government any of these establishment parties lead. There will be control. There will be wealth transfer from the people to elitist parasites. One nation will continue to expose them and to support nuclear.